Alright,
Come on, I don't have all
now the
night.
audio has been fixed. So let's get to this.
Hurry now, Doctor, it's freezing.
Hello?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
There's nothing here. This room is off limits. No antiseptics at all. There's probably nothing up here, seeing as I looted all of it.
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Small door at the end of a narrow street. It's not
It's locked
at all. Hacksaw. Alright. What we're gonna do first though, because we're just gonna go around and explore everything as well. That doesn't open. Alright, let's make sure that we have everybody's name. Yeah, see, I didn't go and talk to every person. Start over here.
The life running in your veins.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Okay, let's ask about our life here.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Well, that's not good.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Spanish flu won't last forever.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse?
Ah, so you know something else.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially concerning doctors.
Well, why is he so angry?
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
So he deserves it.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Seems pretty chatty to me. You've been a nurse for how long?
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Ooh. But you change your attitude.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
The way you said Brannigan makes me think you hate Nurse Brannigan.
Goodbye.
Alright.
Good evening, miss.
It's not the one I
I'm
wanted to
Dr.
talk
Reed,
to, but alright.
the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Sure.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Well, alright. How's it feel?
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Sure talks like a vampire.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Okay, well, what enemy?
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
That's a little weird. We'll take care of it.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Alright.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Pretty good thought out story.
I'll leave you.
What if she was a vampire the whole time?
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Sounds very painful.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Okay, maybe he's not so gloomy.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Well,
So do you let her
where
bite
did
you?
she go?
You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
It's not really
You
helping
do
her out.
realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Yeah, probably, I'd imagine.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
All offense taken? 100%. Probably wasn't the same war, but...
Goodbye for...
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Okay.
Daily routine.
Damn, we're gonna by him, building hooks. Unknown though, we haven't actually talked to him yet. Oh, there he is. I ran right past him.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
That you do. That you
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Yikes.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Oh. Well, at least he's got a little bit of respect for us, huh?
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Solid reasoning.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Some pretty deep words from Milton Hooks.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Need 315 for his shotgun, which is 296 damage. It's a lot for just starting out. Goes up to 576. That's what, 10, 20, 40% damage increase. Wow. And he's got the handle parts that I need too. Okay. The reason that I'm talking with everybody also is because you get XP for it. So.
If only there were more of us. Less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count.
Forgot to talk to a few people.
Waste your time with me. Never could keep anything.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Wow. I already don't like you. What are you off? Level 4. Yeah, you got a problem with me?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt he's wasted his time doing it. Yeah, I'm telling him to change his tone. Work for the other person.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Alright, that was just like a debate back and forth or an argument. I don't really know.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
A lot of assumptions.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. and personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Okay. The dude had a lot of dialogue.
Thank you
He's
for your
worth a lot
time.
of points. Okay, I've got 1, 2. Should be one more too. After them two in there. Yeah. No, that's movable.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
You're here for a broken arm, and they're arguing about it?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
It's very, very true.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Dang. He said, nope, you gotta deal with the other two.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
It's an interesting analogy. Okay, don't have any hints.
Goodbye for now.
I will not let you down,
Till,
my boy.
what is it, later on or is it right now? Yeah, there we go. My dear children, sorry I did not write to you before, but it hurts like hell just to write these few words on bloody paper. Don't worry, Daddy will go out of the hospital as soon as the doctors fix his arm. In the meantime, if you need something, go see Mr. Chadwick at the construction site and tell him you are Harvey Fiddick's children. You remember Robert Chadwick? The big guy with the mustache who helped me repair the house doors last spring? Go see him and ask for a few, Bob. For a few, Bob? He won't refuse to spare you in a few. I'm sorry I can't work anymore for now, but we'll figure out something as soon as I'm out. Don't worry, everything will be fine as soon as Daddy's arm is strong again. As soon as the doctors have fixed my arm. And then it just goes on to be continued.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
No, not really.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Dang.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Oh no.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
Oh, I did. Oh, I skipped it.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Silver lining, I guess, right?
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll...
You're almost complete.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What, from reading?
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Don't waste your time with me.
It's kind of presumptuous.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Good.
May
Has
I
money
ask
and
if
not
you
afraid
have an
of flying.
occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Interesting.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Which makes me wonder what your social standing actually is.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Alright, I guess
Goodbye,
that's
Mrs.
everything for this
Goswick.
person. Let's go to this one.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Mortimer Goswick, the one who won't talk. Alright.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Interesting. Okay. A pretty good doctor.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Oh. You're in good hands.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
She's already convinced.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Finally, you get.
I'll
some
let you
rest.
get some rest, then.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, that's all done. Aha.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed,
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Your life in London. So we can just jump straight into Ackroyd, or tell me about.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself? I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Why are you convinced of that? Tell me about him.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Sounds just like a younger version of my character.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Awesome. Let's see, he's a big admirer, so probably I'll be glad to help you.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Just like a repeat there, dude? Just saying the same thing over
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
I haven't even seen it. Oh, I guess, yeah. There's been a couple analysis things.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Don't know how that goes into... do you need my help?
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Guess I just got looped into doing that quest.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Dang, I mean, he still became a doctor, saying obsolete. That's... that's a little much.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Okay, well,
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Okay.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
I mean, in a sense, it's both.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Right. Another person out here.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding?
Where would they be at? Oh.
I should investigate.
Apparently it's right on the other side of that. Let's talk.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
What? You're a real doctor, but not a real doctor?
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy
How does
work,
that
sir.
make sense?
All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Rarely they come looking for them?
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Wow.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
You're a maniac.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Just straight to the... How did you get the job?
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Oh, Milton helped you. Now I see how you got a job.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Yeah. So relieved that she died.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Simple man.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Oh, they're only good to you. It's
What
like
kind
everyone's
of
gonna have
goods?
the same
With the
opinion.
quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Okay.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Hopefully your dialogue decays. It's been like 10 minutes.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Sure.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Oh, is it over? Finally.
Please show me.
Of course.
Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive and then...
Okay, what were we doing? We were going to find out who's spying on film. That should be every person here talked to. So... I feel like I didn't go the right way. I did. We'll skip that too. Hang on, I'll kill you in a second.
Leech spotted! No! He's dead!
There we go. Toys visit October from the guard of the Pre-Win command post, huh? Ugh. Reportedly, direct flight of action should be taken. Oh wow. Okay. So they're still just investigating. They're not actually hunting her yet. Never actually read that. Okay, where's this local command post at? Over here? Ooh, I wonder what the level of enemies over here is. 18? Oh, and he's got high blood resistance too. That's okay. I think I know a way to get him over here. I'm gonna try this one time. Decent amount of damage. Come on, do it. You ain't gonna come down there, really? Okay, I lied. I'm gonna try it 2 times. Woo! Did he fall? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! He left the spawn area, so now he won't attack me. I wonder how much XP I'm gonna get from this. Probably only like 25. come on. How resilient are... Oh, you actually have a... I didn't even notice that. You have defense to both of my weapons. Starting the recruitment of new boys in Whitechapel. I think I've found one Albie. He's as stupid as a stool, but tough. I asked him to prove to me he could do some drugs for the black market and deliver it quickly and nicely. Next time we meet, I tell him to accept it as a wet boot boy. And he must now meet at the boss to get his order. Albert Palmer, huh? Okay, I think that enemy just spawned one time, I think, actually. What about you? No way you're as high level as all that, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're strong. Ooh, that was close. Damn it.
This one's mine!
Alright. Now you... Go ahead and reload that. That should be enough blood, I think. Alright. I think we were almost there, actually. I feel like they're really high level, though. If that's already this difficult, I don't know if I could do that. 530. I mean, I could try. Grab that. Anything else out here? They're all level, relatively low leveled, I guess. I mean, I'm only level 5, but. Alright, well, once I go in, there's no going out, so. 16, 17. I don't know if I want to do this. This is gonna be so freaking difficult. Shetty steak. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the revolver. Oh yeah, that's gonna... Yeah. Oh, I knew that would be difficult. Luckily, there's no penalty for dying in this game, but except for a really long load screen. I knew I shouldn't have messed with that. That was too good to be true. Like I said, extremely long load screens. Which reminds me of like Skyrim. Like the Breeze home door. I feel like that's the longest one. I almost want to time it, that one and this one, see which one's longer. I think this game's newer too. Sometime this year. Alright. That was an interesting little respawn animation. Never watched it. Okay. What other investigation do I have? So I've got sort of reports leading to the Pembroke Hospital. Already got that one. Backyard garden. Where's that at exactly? Alright, here we go.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
That's very close to the Actually, yeah, this is a good test. I've never tested it. That does work. Cool. Good to know. Noted for later. I wanted to see if using a gun to get through there's nothing else in the game. Oh yeah, if I hit him with anything like that, he's immediately gonna try and do a headshot on me. There we go. Okay. You're more resilient, but you're more annoying. The dazzled skull. The reason I said this one right here is more annoying is because they teleport around. Okay, that's the item I was looking for.
Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Huh. Okay, well I guess we can knock two birds out with one stone here. And get ready for another loading screen. After we go in here, there should be a few enemies to fight, and then we should be able to get the item that we need. Or items, I guess, because they're on multiple different floors. I could have sworn they were in here somewhere, I thought. Sure. Let's go.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers.
as popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Try to do the stuff.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Any of these doors open? No. What's in here?
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Alright, to the basement. Upper floors are locked. I think there's some up there I can collect, though. Bottom floor. I didn't get that one. Hopefully he spawns back at a non-kill me time. Here.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Alright, you're doing that. I wonder if I can parry him. I'm gonna try it. I suck at parrying. Looks like a charm. I kind of like that. Hello. Oh, that's over there. What? Tried to press triangle, didn't work. Okay, that's just the same direction. I could have just went out that door. Oh, it's a death report. Why is it not letting me? Oh, it actually wanted me to go to it. The thing I was already doing. Okay.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Yeah, this game is very gory.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
Crazy good analytic skills from this doctor, though.
The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Okay, I don't know how he just knew that off
A
the top of his
puncture
head.
over the left lung. Possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Wasn't that dude just saying? Oh no, this is Kokorian Tippett's not. Alright, I thought that was.
It's locked.
The listed knife. Okay. Already got that now? Wow. It's one of the most useful blood items in the game. It gives you blood off of every hit. It's like, it can stun lock certain enemies if you get it leveled up right. Well, it's not if you get it leveled up right, it's just the way the weapon works. Front store. What a fence. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the game, Vampyr. Okay, where's the pharmacy at? It's over by the docks. I don't know if I can do that just yet. Find medical ingredients in the old morgue. Did I not find the final one on the bottom floor? Aha, here's the boss. His name's John Doe in a hospital. Kind of fun, actually. I wonder if I can stun that. Can I stun that attack? I'm gonna try that. You can stun that attack. Alright, that is awesome. Got him right in the face.
These scars can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Alright. Let's go ahead and upgrade a few things if we have the right stats. I don't know if we have the right. Oh, we do have it. Cool. Go ahead and get some more damage. Do I have enough for this one? I do. Nice. Let's go ahead and add some more blood to that. I don't have tiny common handle parts though. Alright, that should work for right now. Check that out. Grab that. We'll leave the used scythe for right now. Was I able to make any of these? No. Okay,
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Last time I ran through here, there was more enemies that spawned in. Doubt it'll happen again, though. Oh, never mind, he's here. Go. Should be everything we needed from here. Yep, practice. No, I'm not that good at this game. I need to be better at it. I died already one time in this playthrough. Granted, I was fighting things like, 14 levels higher than me, but this point still stands. Loading, loading, loading. Come on. There we go. Pembroke Hospital. Should be able to just walk straight in. Alright, craft a treatment for fatigue. Fair point. Thank you for the praise. Thank you. Do I have enough components to craft that? I do. Nice. Okay. What's next? Bring the medicine to Dorothy Crane in the patient room. #1 fan. Probably also my only fan. Can't talk to that person yet, can I? No. Here we go. Finally found him.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor.
Hey, let's try
Did you
to
find
keep it
anything of
PG.
value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
It's okay. Everybody gets a warning. Alright, Chapter 2. Rat in the Hospital. Talk to Edgar Swansea. Alright, we're gonna go talk to Edgar, and that's gonna be the last thing I do for this stream. It's been just about an hour and a half.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I'm a living paradox. This is no gift. Your words bring comfort. Now, these all actually do have an outcome every now and then, and I don't know if this instance has an outcome. We will go with your words bring comfort, because he's been a good person to us.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
No need to apologize. This is not amusing, and we need each other. These are one-time events. I don't know. What do you think, chat? We need to apologize. This is not amusing, or we need each other. Let's see what the first one that pops up is. No need to apologize. This is not amusing. We need each other. apologize if you don't want to be with him and we need each other if you want to be with him in an alliance. I'm gonna go with we need each other.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
She's out there this early on in the game.
I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Huh. She's out there for quite some time then. Alright, as I said, that is going to be the last objective that we do for this stream. I'm going to go back to Jonathan's room and then we shall end it. Alright. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And... oh, you had a great stream? That's good.